Alright, so what I'm going to do here is just run through single strings, E minor pentatonic up and down, and then two strings at a time. I might show you some little shapes that might be a little bit different for you, or maybe you already know all this stuff, so we'll see. But anyway, I name all the notes when I was practicing all this many years ago, right? To know the fretboard, the names of everything that you're doing. So I got my E. I don't have a cutaway up here. I'm playing the telly upside down, so some of these notes are a different, reach than I would normally have on a Strat. So I might not go all the way up through the guitar, but you want to do that. So, up here is going to get weird for me because I'm kind of cut off. So anyway. Sometimes I'll put a blue note in every now and then because I like that phrasing when I'm playing. But so here's my E here. I got D here and I got B on my second string. Sometimes I love Eric Johnson and Michael Schenker, other players that use the 9 a lot. So sometimes when I'm in a minor pentatonic, I might hit a 9. So on the next string, we put in bends eventually too with a lot of this goes back to Mick Goodrick too, things that I got from Mick's Advancing Guitarist many years ago when that first came out. But I was doing it before when I heard Hendrix and probably Eddie Van Halen doing single string kind of stuff. Obviously when Eddie would trill like whatever, whatever mode he was doing. So here's my E down here, right? One thing I did a lot, Hendrix and Wes, I saw him doing octaves, right? So do all your pentatonics in octaves as well. And what's cool about the guitar, many things are cool about the guitar, but having an open E string as a drone maybe, I'll stop every now and then. I put a 9 in there, And these two notes. If I wanted to put the major third in, that's just right above the flat third. Obviously you can slide in and out of these notes, you can tap notes, you can bend notes. So sorry I'm jumping around a little bit, so let me go back to the middle of the guitar here like that. There's a really cool different stretch. You might already know this one where you explore that stretch on other strings, like if you were to go cool ideas, to kind of like you're combining two positions. You could always skip strings. So let me think I'll take the E and the A string some. Bit of a stretch there, right? Just keep your hand relaxed. Put the major second again, that F sharp in the scale when I came down. I could always do the thing where I play like one note like from the scale and across the guitar, but still think pentatonic, so you get into some arpeggio sounding things off of pentatonic. I went two notes on that last string. And you hear Eric Johnson doing that kind of thing a lot, and I might have personally, I think I might have heard Abercrombie or Sco or somebody in Fusion doing that, and then later I heard Eric doing that a lot more. I love how Eric Johnson plays. I try to do my own thing. I'm not trying to be, anybody when I'm doing this stuff. I'm just, showing you this, how to explore on the guitar. One thing you might want to pay attention to, I'm going to refer to Eric a little bit because he's on my mind at the moment and plenty of other times, but start on a chord tone and end on a chord tone to get these sounds kind of into your head, and they're always going to sound good. You can end on other notes too, but I'm just saying, like right there was like a, you know what I mean? I ended on the fifth, you end on the root, you end on the flat third. Nothing wrong with ending on a flat seven, but right there, ended on the root. If you end on the flat third. There's ending on the fifth. So I'll play the minor pentatonic, but I'll skip some strings like. See what I'm saying? So it's like. I'm not warmed up for shit at the moment. I could always add the up a fifth of whatever key I'm in. If I'm in a dominant seventh or a minor seventh, there's a minor seven chord. Here's dominant seven. those ideas of stacking fifths, which I've heard Steve Vai do similar things, and Eric and Pat Metheny, Bright Size Life, kind of way back, doing those seconds. I think I heard Andy Summers doing that first. These kind of chords. So I could also play a G major 7 on top of this E. Kind of depends on the flavor you're going for, the style you're going for. Certain things that I'm talking about, maybe they'll work better in a jazz or a fusion thing. There's not to say that you can't put this in rock, because there's guys that have done it, and maybe you're searching for that sound, or you're going for that sound. Wes Montgomery was doing a lot of this too in his own playing up with these structures, Sometimes you can change modes. You can flex between Mixolydian and Dorian and some of these other notes in between there. That's totally changing into more of a Dorian deal. So work on changing directions. Don't always have stuff that's going all the way down or all the way up. I don't know if you're not going to be able to hear me past these motorcycles, guys. Sorry, I'm outside. Might get a little wandery, but just try to get some flexibility with where you're going. Maybe stop yourself when you go to a certain. I'll see if I can make myself trying to talk and play at the same time. See if I can show you what I mean, like skipping around. If you choose a different note coming down, say that was a flat 6, right? Just be aware of that's the note that I chose. You have different notes that you might hear or go to, and just say, hey, does that note work, and why does it work, and can you name what that note is?